A slight disclaimer before you watch this video. I had a max view lens on my GoPro and I did not change the settings to match the lens. So what you're going to see is probably some of the worst footage I've ever had to try to doctor up. Some of it I could fix where you can't really tell, and well, if you watch it you'll know where I couldn't fix it. Just a heads up. And this is not the only video with that problem, so forgive me, I am no professional. Alrighty, welcome to Left 4 Dead Garage. If you've been around a while, this truck was on the channel probably a year or so ago. It's a 89, 90, 91, I don't know, 93. It's OBS GMC. I did a Blueprint 383 swap in it, Holley Sniper EFI, and some other stuff. But it is back now for a rear disc brake conversion and slotted and drilled rotors on the front. So this is what we got here. This stuff is from Little Shop Manufacturing, which was a blessing because I was afraid it was a buy it now special. So I feel like I can trust this stuff. Other than lifting up these top pieces, I don't really know what's in here. So clearly that is rotors. Whether it is a pair of front rotors or all the rotors, I have no idea. It appears to be the two fronts, so I guess we'll open that first. First off, I don't really know why they chrome and canned the bearing race, but that's fantastic. So probably need to clean that off. But yeah, there's the fronts. Hopefully they're the right thickness because these trucks have two kinds of front rotors. Learned that the hard way. Yep, that's both fronts, so I'm just gonna stick this one back in there and let's look at the real deal, the rear disc. So, set that aside. Come with power stop pads, braided lines. What do we got here? That's bearings and seals for the front. They actually come with national bearings and national seals, so that's good to know. Let's see, what do we got here? Pretty light box. Oh boy, that's a full kit. So we also have a master cylinder, which I didn't know I was doing. That's what that is. So I guess we're doing a master cylinder too. We keep on digging in the never-ending box. This must be a rotor. Kind of heavy. No, this is a mountain plate, I'm guessing. It's got more brake lines. So I guess those are fronts, but they sure look the same. No, they're different. So 4 braided lines, and these are definitely the brake bracket. So this does have a mechanical parking brake. Pretty nice brackets. Powder coated. Hopefully we can get the backing plate cut off these without having to pull the C clip and get there to the axle. A t-shirt, 3XL. That's a big boy. This must be the rotor. And well, you know, I don't know what that is. That might be calipers. This is probably a rotor. Yeah, or for right side. I imagine they're directional. Yep. So we got nice zinc plated or whatever rotors. kind of remind me of a Cadillac Eldorado caliper. So these are already loaded with pads, so I'm assuming those other pads are for the front. And there's another rotor in the box, looks like the other one. So if you want a part number, I can get that. Part number for the rear disc. This is for a 10-inch drum. Is a DBC-140314. I do not know the price. It's not on here. So hopefully all this is exactly right for this truck. If not, that will not be fun, because then it'll be stuck in the way. So I guess I'm gonna start tearing it down, get the wheels off, get the drums off, measure the drums before I go any further, and we'll start putting some brakes on this thing.
Competition Products, your source for hardcore engine parts for street, strip, and oval track. Our free catalog is packed with hundreds of product lines from the best-known manufacturers in the performance industry. Lowest prices guaranteed. Free shipping and handling on all orders over $149 in the continental U.S. Need expert advice? Our knowledgeable staff is just a phone call away. Competition Product, race parts sold by racers since 1970.
All right, they are 10-inch drums, so that's a good thing. Basically, all you got to do is just start tearing this stuff apart. That way I ain't got stuff laying every darn where. Alright, get some line wrenches and take this brake line loose. Hopefully it comes loose. And should be able to take the backing plate loose, and if anything, I'll get the plasma cutter and we'll just slice the backing plate once we get it loose. Alrighty, let's see if we can try not to set anything on fire here. Get this cut off. Get in there and not hurt anything else. Got a shoe full on that one. All right, well, let's round up some bracketry and see what we can do. I'll be right back. Okay, let me put you on this side. You can see a little bit better. I'm gonna grab the rotor. So I got the bracket on there. This notch must be up. I guess it puts the caliper in the proper location. This little tab here There's two in the box, one's the left, one's the right. All it is for the brake line. So, which is funny because I don't know if you got to reflare this or not. I hadn't got there, but the hoses that come with the rubber hose goes into this, and maybe you got to bend it. I don't know yet, but we'll get to that. Let me get a rotor and set it on here, and then we can get the pads stuck in that caliper, and we can get it mounted up. And make sure you get the right rotor, the right direction. Just put those on to keep it from jiggling. All right, let's see if we can get this thing on here. That works great on it. Slide these pins in. Alright. Can't imagine what kind of fun this e-brake's going to be. This looks like a pain. I'm curious about this brake line. Let me see if I can bring up the directionals. It says the factory brake line can be repositioned into the top side of the brake line bracket and hose. Use caution. Alright. So I guess I don't know how the best way to do it, because you definitely can't go across this, it'll get smashed. Let me do a little research in this, I'll get back to you. Alright, so the brake line you need to pop through or pop loose in the little tabs on the rear end back in here to give you some slack. Then you kind of got to manipulate it around. It will start in this, and then the braided line runs down here on the bottom. It'll go here. Hopefully the brake line is not in the way of the e-brake. I don't know what the magical deal is with that, but we'll have to figure that out and then get it hooked in. It also comes with some barrel stops or some clamps, so you can cut this off if it's too long, which it looks like it will be, and shorten up the cable, which that doesn't sound fun either, but maybe you can pop the spring off and it might help it go through there a little easier. I don't know. I'll have to look on the directions are online, which kind of makes it a pain in the butt because you gotta sit here with your phone the whole time instead of just taking a magnet and sticking it to the side of the truck or in here or something and just looking up at it. But let me figure out what the deal with this e-brake cable is, and I'll show you what I've done. All right, I had to cut the end of that brake line off, or brake cable off rather, and it comes with these little stops. Sort of a pain in the butt to get them in there, but I mean, it's in there. You got to kind of pull the brake lever back and wedge something down in there and then work it through, and then it's got a set screw in the top here. Just go back over everything, tighten everything up, then we'll switch to the other side. Hopefully we'll have no problems with the other side. Hey, welcome back to Left 4 Dead Garage. Dang near. Well, actually I did start. I started this video, or started working on this truck again, and didn't start the video. So the rear's complete, so we're gonna jump onto the front. and then braided hoses, drilled and slotted rotors, and a fresh set of pads. So with these Evolution power stop pads and some braided lines, the rotors are over there in that box. So we also have bearings and seals, so we get a pack bearings again. Hopefully I have enough grease, because I did not get any more grease, so probably need to go do that before I even get into this. But yeah, wish I'd have power washed all this before I started, but already had the truck moved in here and I don't really want to wreck the floor right now, so just overlook it, I guess. But yeah, I'm sure this has been covered a blue million and a half times on the old YouTube, but we're going to cover brakes and rotors on a, what is it, 88 to 98 OBS Chevy truck, or GMC rather, same thing. But let's get to it. Alrighty, 14 millimeter line wrench, and then I happen to have this metric adjustable here, so we just use that. Let's see, got this clip here. Alright, that thing was tough. I don't know why it was so hooked in there. But get that guy out of there. Just prop it up here. Is it bolted to the... Yeah, got a couple bolts right here. Don't lose that guy. Keep up with these two. But yeah, 7/16 wrench holds that little bracket on. I got brake fluid running everywhere. Alright, just in case, just don't throw that banjo bolt away. I need a bigger bucket. Alright, I already got the caliper loose. Little pins. Little caliper. Pads actually still look pretty good. Alrighty, let's get something to knock this dust cap off and pull the bearings out. Alright, this thing will just jiggle out. Well, they were pretty dry. Might have actually been a blessing in disguise here, changing these things out, because that's pretty dry. Alright. You got a seal back here and a bearing, none of which we'll be using, so we'll set these aside in case he wants them. If not, scrap bin they go. They also make pretty good bases for like puny jack stands. If you knock the studs out, weld the jack stand to the face of this, like them little crappy 3-ton jack stands. Makes a pretty decent base. I'm gonna grab a cap for that leaking brake line, just to try to keep some of the sauce in the master cylinder. I'm gonna grab the new rotor, new bearings, seals, and we'll go in here on the table and pack those bearings and drive a seal in. Alrighty, well, guess who does not have any more rubber gloves? So this should be fun. Put the old grease gun in them. I took brake cleaner and a towel, and I got that paint out of that race. I don't know why they would, I don't really know why they would paint it. Got a homemade seal driver here. We'll knock that in. It doesn't take much. But we're gonna pack this back bearing first, drop it in, put the seal in, then I'll pack the other bearing and have it ready for the passenger side. You gotta make sure you get the right rotor. These babies are directional. So, okay, the fun part. Yay me. Let me clean my hands properly. Alright. Just like the bearings on the 49. A nice puddle. You know, I rarely do this, and I've done this twice in a week, it seems like. Just jam it in there till you see it start shooting out of the where the rollers and the cage and all that is. Just pack it in there best that you can. Work it around. It's going to be a mess. I have a bearing packer, but I'm afraid I don't have enough grease to run that thing, as it takes a lot of grease. It kind of wastes a bunch. But you kind of see it shooting out of the cage in there. We'll just keep going till all this is in there for the most part. But if you didn't know, now you know. And we'll just mop all that up. Bad thing is, I'll set this in here for a second. You waste some good shop towels. What a mess. But that's the back one. You take this here seal. You want to probably put a little bit of grease on this lip, so it ain't rolling around dry there on the spindle. Get that settled in there. So back bearing, or that's the back seal, a 4739, and the back bearing is a A5. Front bearing is not boxed, I guess for shipping purposes, but there is a number on it. It's a National A3. I don't necessarily know if you can see that, but it's an A3 bearing. So I'm gonna grab the other rotor, pack that bearing, and when I get all the bearings packed, we'll reverse the order and put it back together. Okie doke, got this rotor back on. Get this little washer cleaned up, put the seal and all that junk in. Let's see, where's that flat at? There's a groove or something in there. Here we go. Stick the washer on. I'll clean this nut up just because. I need to find me a wrench to fit this. This also gotta go in there and find me a new cotter pin. I don't really want to reuse that other one. Let me see if I got adjustable here handy. this guy. Let's try this one. I know this is proper wrench for the job here. That's weird. That didn't fit right. The nut never got tight. I mean, you're not going to bottom it out, but it never felt right. Great. It felt like it was rubbing something on the back side. I wonder if that ABS tone ring and this little guy right here isn't jiving. You see, look at that. You see that mark on there? I guarantee you that's what it was. Let's see if I can. Sure enough, the tone ring is hitting, and that is probably, maybe, part of this dust shield. I don't know. Let me see. It looked like it kind of moved there. Oh, does this come on? Okay. Problem solved. I bet it'll feel like it seats now. Ugh. Oh yeah. You feel that seal go up on that diameter on that spindle. There we go. Much better. Worried my camera's gonna go dead. Got 33% left. I guess I could turn the light on. Alright. Came with new hardware and crush washers, which is nice. Both lines are the same, so no guessing work. No guessing there. I capped that off too because it was just steady leaking. Alright. We'll hang on to that cap. Use it for the other side. Clip didn't even go on there good. All right, we got that started. I'm not going to snug this all the way down because that brake line may need to spin to get comfortable. You can kind of like naturally laid up through there for that caliper, the banjo bolt. I don't want to have to be like twist on it and put a kink in it or nothing like that. So we'll leave this sort of loose so it'll spin. So there we go. This one does not have that little clamp there. Unfortunate. All right, camera's got 29%. I better hurry. All right, power stop pad. I guess that's the seals for the, okay, yeah. It comes with new seals for the caliper pins. These are ceramic pads. Got inners and outers here. Ugh. Let's take a bath in old brake fluid. Alright. So your inners have a spring that goes in the piston. Just like that. Take a screwdriver. Pop that guy off. This guy. It'll be a little tough to get this one on. Ouch. And they just sit right in there like so. I'm gonna push these pins back. Alright, I'm gonna put a little grease on these. Put a little grease on these pins. They'll slide in there. Alright, we got that situated. Now, let's put this iron on. And it came with new clips for that. It fell right in the brake fluid. Perfect. So, new banjo bolts and hardware. I actually saved these things, the crush washers too, because you just never know. Alright, that threaded right in, so what I'll probably do is, like I said, I'm going to do a rubber, drill a hole here, 1/4 bolt, and I'll just put a little rubber clamp, rubber insulated clamp right there, and we'll call it done. So we'll just repeat the process on the passenger side and bleed the brakes. After this, we have 2 more items to install, but I'll get to that in a minute. Alrighty, got the rear brakes done. Look pretty good in those wheels. Pretty snazzy. Everything's done back here. Rotors, pads, braided lines. I had to replace this caliper. The bleeder screw would just, I could not get the other one out. I heated it, I soaked it, I gave it a fair chance, but it just was not happening. So I swapped the caliper. You know, after I thought about this, replace that caliper. So I figured, what in the world was the point of having all those brand new brakes and all this new and one new caliper? So just went ahead and spent the $27 and put this caliper on too. That way everything's fresh and new. I don't know why I didn't think about that the first time I went to O'Reilly's. Funny thing is, I wasn't paying attention, and the caliper I bought the first time was the passenger side caliper. As soon as I sat down on the stool, I realized it. So I ran it back, swapped it out for the driver's side, and as soon as I sat down on the stool, I thought, why? Why didn't I just keep the caliper? 27 bucks, I'm sure the customer would be okay with. So back to O'Reilly's I went. But I had to take my core back anyway, so it worked out. Also, residual valve residual valve right here for the rear disc. It has a 2 psi hold. Drum brakes typically have 10 pounds. You will burn the calipers up on 10 pounds of residual pressure on disc brakes. Also, per the customer, installed a line lock. Have not wired it up yet, obviously, but I'm closing this one out. We're jumping directly back over to the 49, getting the rear suspension done on it. I also still need to edit that front video, the video of the front stuff. But what else? I guess that'll do it on this one. So yeah, who made this kit? Oh, little shop brake kit for the I might have said this already, for the front rotors, drilled and slotted, pads, upgraded the lines, the back with powder coated black calipers, upgraded lines, upgraded drilled and slotted. I think shipping to the door, I went to the website and looked it up, it's about $1,500. So if you're out of OBS and you want to do this, it's about $1,500. It also comes with that master cylinder, and from what I understand, that is a later model Chevrolet truck factory master cylinder. Not sure what year, I can't remember, but yeah, that comes with the kit for another $60. Well, that comes with the kit for the whole $1,500. You see what I'm saying, hopefully. So yeah, that'll do it for this truck, or this video rather. Don't forget, there's Left 4 Dead Garage on Instagram, and there's a Left 4 Dead Garage Facebook page. Go check us out there, follow us, likes, you know, all the fun stuff. Channel finally hit over 2,000 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. So thanks for watching Left 4 Dead Garage. We will see you on the next one.